I'm going to begin my outline on the right hand side with this shape right here. Use the negative space between the perimeter lines and the hand to help you judge where it should go. Pause your video and draw in that line. Then move to the top of the arm. I didn't have you measure that because I want to take the training wheels off a little and have you estimate it. Just do your best. Look for this shape. Then move to the thumb. Remember, you should only be drawing the outline right now, but once you get that in, you're going to notice it's already starting to take shape. To draw the inside line of the thumb, use the negative space the perimeter lines make with the hand to make a triangle. Use the shape in the negative space between the thumb and the perimeter line extending from the top of the thumb to help you draw the curve. Do the same on the two fingers and the outline's done, and we can begin doing the interior lines. Now I'm going to take some more training wheels off. Instead of measuring and making more parameter lines to find where the fingers and palm meet, I'm going to use information already available to me to help me find where it starts. So if I extend the line I drew for the base of the thumb, it lines up exactly with the crease where the fingers and palm meet. Okay, this line looks wrong. Can you see why? Look at the distance from the end of the pinky in the photograph and compare it to the distance in my drawing. It's clearly too short. This is a great example of a mistake that we can use to help us make a better judgment and get closer to a correct line. I'm taking a perimeter measurement. Let's see how far off my judgment was. Catching a mistake is the most important part. Now you can either guess and try to make a line closer to where you think it should be, or take a measurement and make sure it's right. Look at that, I was way off. I'll put the line for the index finger in next. That might help me see it better. I'm holding my ruler up to my photograph to give me a little visual help guessing the angle of this finger. That's an old life drawing trick, but instead of a ruler, you would hold your pencil up to the subject to help you see the angle. Now I'll remove my original line and redraw it. With that information in, this area should be broken up into a small enough shape that you can easily manage drawing in the last two fingers. Start with the ring finger. Use the triangle shape in the negative space to show you what angle to draw the line at. Again, look for triangles in the negative space, and that'll give you the angle of the pinky. I know it looks rudimentary, but remember, at this point your drawing should only be made of simple shapes and mostly straight lines. Just focus on getting the angles of each line right first. You can adjust their contours in the next step. Now that the fingers are drawn in, I'll move to the next interior line. I'd like to take a moment here to explain my thought process a bit, so you can understand why I choose each line to draw in a specific order. I don't just pick them at random, and neither should you. It's best to start with the most dominant or darkest lines first, which appear to be this one and this one. But I'm going to do this one first because it's not floating. It's connected to the line of the arm that I already drew, which gives it an anchor point and therefore makes it easier to estimate where it belongs. The line of the thumb isn't connected to anything, so it's harder to guess where to place it. And if you're concerned about estimating the line of the thumb, you can just take a measurement. This is a major landmark on the drawing that you'll be using to judge where other features of the hand will go, so it's an important line to get right. Of course, the area where the palm and thumb meet actually consists of 4 lines, the one we just drew a perimeter line for, and these two. I'll start by putting in this line. To get this curve right, you should be using the aspects around it to help you. So for example, I know it almost connects to this dip where the hand and arm meet, so I'll use that to give me a destination for where my line should end. Next, I'll approach this curve. Use the line of the wrist you drew earlier to help you create a triangle, and if they line up easily, that should help confirm your lines are all in the right places. The last line should line up with the shadow where the thumb meets the hand, but it doesn't fit. That tells me something's wrong. Can you see where the problem is? Again, finding a mistake is a good thing. That gives me a chance to fix it sooner than later. This is a great opportunity to both learn how to recognize a mistake and how to make a minor adjustment. The problem is with the thumb. If you compare my drawing to the photograph, you'll see that the thumb is too wide and too low. So I'm going to take a quick measurement. There's the problem. This line being off causes a chain reaction that makes every line around it wrong. But if you follow the steps in the process in order, you'll identify it as early as possible. I'll define the top of the thumb a bit more now and adjust the contour of the top of the hand. Now that we have the major landmarks in place, start looking for the next tier of lines to put in. So not the little cracks yet, just the next darkest set of lines that you see. At this point, getting their placement will be easier because you have so many features and information to help you align and estimate each distance. Okay, that's it for the fingers. I only see 3 major lines that need to be placed in the palm. Again, I'll start with this one because it's not floating. I can see that's wrong based on this distance. It should be slightly lower. I should have given myself a mark to show me where my line is going to end. Remember to erase mistakes and keep your lines as neat as possible. I'll move to this line next. Just line it up with the information you already have drawn in around it. And finally this one. Can you see why this line is wrong? It's too close to the right side of the hand. I misjudged the width of the shadow. I think I'm taking the wrong approach. Instead, I'm going to draw an outline around the shadow, then go back and put in the crease once that information is in. There, and that's how you can use a shadow as a landmark to help you without doing any shading. Treat the drawing like a relief map.